Ibrahim had spent 60 years of his life caring for his bedridden mother, Amna, with unwavering love and patience. Neighbors often marveled at his sacrifice, but they never truly knew the depth of his devotion. Today, as his body lay still, the village prepared to bury him, unaware that his passing would soon reveal a secret so profound it would leave them speechless. Ibrahim's life was one of quiet struggle. Every morning he would wake before dawn, prepare his mother's meals, bathe her with care, and spend hours at her bedside, reciting the Quran and offering her comfort. Amna, frail and unable to move, relied entirely on him. Her soft, trembling voice would call out, "Ibrahim, are you there?" And his response never wavered. "Always, mother." His devotion wasn't without challenges. Over the years, people questioned him. "Ibrahim?" His childhood friend Rafiq once asked, "Why do you waste your life like this? You could have had a family, a future." Ibrahim's reply was simple yet profound. "Jannah lies at her feet, Rafiq. What greater future could I ask for?" The villagers respected him, but some secretly pitied him. They saw his patched clothes, his modest meals, and his lonely evenings, and wondered if he had sacrificed too much. Yet Ibrahim never complained. His entire existence revolved around one purpose, serving his mother. But now, with his passing, the villagers were left with questions. What would become of Amna? How would she cope without him? And what could explain the serene smile frozen on Ibrahim's face in death? That evening, as the women of the village gathered to prepare Amna for the news of her son's passing, something unusual happened. Despite her frailty and failing memory, Amna sat up in bed with a strength that stunned everyone. Her voice, once weak and quivering, rang with clarity. "He is gone, hasn't he?" she asked, her eyes brimming with tears. The women froze. "How did you know?" one of them whispered. "I saw him," Amna replied, her gaze distant. "He came to me moments before he left this world. He was glowing, his face radiant with peace. He kissed my forehead and said, 'Mother, my duty is done. Pray for me.'" The room fell silent, the air thick with unease. How could she have seen him when she hadn't left her bed in years? And why did her voice carry an unearthly calm, as if she knew something they didn't? Word spread quickly. By the time Ibrahim's funeral was underway, the entire village had gathered. Yet the most mysterious event was yet to come. Ibrahim's burial was simple, just as he would have wanted. As the villagers lowered his body into the grave, a sudden gust of wind swept through the cemetery, carrying with it a faint yet distinct fragrance of roses. Those present exchanged puzzled glances. There were no roses nearby. Moments later, a respected elder, Sheikh Usman, stepped forward to offer a final prayer. As he began, his voice faltered. He pointed toward the grave, his hand trembling. "Look!" he exclaimed. To everyone's astonishment, the grave's surface began to glow faintly. The light wasn't blinding, but soft, serene, as if the earth itself was honoring Ibrahim's sacrifice. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. "This is a sign," Sheikh Usman said, his voice choked with emotion. "A sign of his devotion, his purity. Allah has accepted him." But the shock didn't end there. As they turned to leave, one of the gravediggers noticed something unusual beside Ibrahim's resting place. It was a small, tattered notebook wrapped in cloth. Curiosity got the better of him, and with trembling hands he opened it. Inside were pages filled with Ibrahim's handwriting. It wasn't a diary, but a collection of du'as, supplications, and Quranic verses, all written for his mother. One entry stood out. "Ya Allah, grant my mother ease in this life and reunite me with her in Jannah. Every hardship I endure for your sake and hers. Accept my efforts and forgive us both." Tears streamed down the gravedigger's face as he read those words aloud. The villagers stood in stunned silence, their hearts heavy with a mixture of sorrow and awe. News of the glowing grave and the notebook spread far beyond the village, drawing visitors from neighboring towns. People came to see the grave of the man who had served his mother with such devotion that even the earth seemed to honor him. Amna, now cared for by the villagers, often spoke of her son with pride. "He wasn't just my son," she would say. He was my gift from Allah. She lived for 2 more years, during which she inspired others to cherish their parents and serve them with love. Ibrahim's story became a beacon of hope and a reminder of the profound blessings in serving one's parents. His grave, modest, and unadorned, became a place where people came to pray, reflect, and seek inspiration. The villagers often recited a verse from the Quran that seemed to capture Ibrahim's essence. And we have commanded people to honor their parents. Their mothers bore them through hardship upon hardship, and their weaning takes 2 years. So be grateful to me and your parents. To me is the final return. Ibrahim's life and death taught the world that true greatness lies not in wealth or status, but in love, sacrifice, and devotion. His story wasn't just about serving a mother, it was about fulfilling the purpose of life with sincerity and faith. Dear listeners, the moral of the story is, cherish your parents, for their prayers and blessings are a gateway to Jannah. Serve them with love, and Allah will honor you in ways beyond your imagination. Ibrahim's life reminds us that the simplest acts of devotion can leave the most profound legacy.